Hi, my name's Emma and let's talk spooky stuff. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a Christmas video. It's been a couple of years since I've done a Christmas horror recommendations video, so I thought today I would bring you a list of the tamest to the most disturbing. So we're gonna start off with some light horror, some child-friendly films, and then go into the bleakness. And let me tell you, it gets bleak because with horror, rarely anyone's left off the hook. And that goes for Christmas horror too. They really pack a punch. Honestly, I do think that the pickings are slim when it comes to Christmas horror. I think we have a long way to go and there's still not enough. But in this list, there will be something for everyone. And I promise you'll find something that you'll like. Just before we start at the tamest horror, I want to thank you for watching my channel, whether this is your first time here or whether you're returning. I really appreciate you. And thank you so much for making 2021 a great year for Spooky Astronauts. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love to have you here. And if you do find my videos helpful, please give them a like and also share them. That does help. But let's get in it before we get too mushy. Let's keep it scary. Starting with The Nightmare Before Christmas. The most tame on this list and one of my favorite horror movies of all time. This one bridges the gap between Halloween and Christmas, so that means I can usually get away with watching it twice a year. Although the fantasy family action needs no introduction, The Nightmare Before Christmas is a whimsical musical about Halloween Town hero Jack Skellington, who wishes for something more. Unfortunately, his scary side is a bit too much for Christmas, and I think we can all relate. Nevertheless, no Spooky Christmas list is complete without a trip to Halloween Town. We're still in the child-friendly zone, and this time Spooky gets cutesy with this 80s horror cult comedy classic. Gremlins is about a boy named Billy who is given a creature called a mogwai for Christmas, but keeping his new pet proves difficult as there are strict rules that change its nature. Fun fact, Steven Spielberg, who was the executive producer on this one, decided that the characters Stripe and Gizmo should be separated. Originally, they were the same creature, and Spielberg insisted that they should be separate so that the audience can follow along an innocent gremlin. And later, the director claims that this probably saved the film and made it into the cult classic it is today. But okay, I hear you, I've covered the classics, here's a new one. This next recommendation takes a step into the woods, the Danish woods. This series is a slight step up in the blood and gore. Elves, new to Netflix, is only 6 episodes long, with each episode running just over 20 minutes. So really, it's a quick watch that's more comparable to a TV movie, broken up here and there. Elves is the story about a family who go to an isolated island for a quiet Christmas. Unbeknownst to them, the island harbors an ancient secret. The show itself is very straightforward, but if you're into those hygge vibes, this one definitely is a cozy Christmas series. It reminds me of a soft Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, the remake, with similar practical effects to Channel Zero. Okay, now we're starting to get a little bit racy. The next film is P2, and this one is not for children, at least in my dog mum opinion. Gromit would never. P2 is not a cozy Christmas film at all. In fact, it's the complete opposite. Set in a car park, the film is about a woman who is stalked by an obsessive man on Christmas Eve night. P2 refers to the parking lot number, which works cleverly with the tagline, a new level of fear. If you're looking for a cat and mouse Christmas film, this one is for you. Krampus from 2015 is a staple in my Christmas horror diet. Just make sure you're watching the right one. The comedy horror fantasy gets surprisingly bleak, and I mean, it is horror after all, but Krampus really does not hold back in this one, but why should he? The movie has an all-star cast including Toni Collette and Adam Scott. Starting like most Christmas rom-coms, the movie takes place in a dysfunctional family that meet for the Christmas holidays. But when tensions rise, young Max unknowingly releases evil upon his family. If you've been putting this one off, please watch it this year. The demonic critters are worth it alone. Scandinavia just nails Christmas horror, and nothing is more original and unique than Rare Exports. Based on a short film from 2003, this Finnish adventure horror follows a boy who unearths Christmas's biggest secret. Now a firm believer in Santa, he must work with a group of oddballs to make things right. I'm staying very vague on this one because it is truly an adventure, one that is best experienced blind. The film raises a lot of interesting ideas in a fun and creative way, including tackling our idea of the image of Santa Claus. or really Coca-Cola Santa Claus. Santa Claus, I'm keeping that in. Stepping it up a notch again, Better Watch Out took me a while to warm up to. It definitely blurs the lines between humorous holiday film and straight up slasher. I think involving kids in bloody Christmas movies is a really strange but exciting juxtaposition. This one is actually R-rated in America, and here it's MA15+. Set on Christmas Eve, the film follows Ashley, who must defend the 12-year-old boy she is babysitting against a home invasion. Next, let's talk about Black Christmas. Relax, I'm talking about the original. Black Christmas is a cult horror classic, so much so that it's inspired a few remakes. But people forget that the original story was just as controversial at the time as the remakes. The movie is inspired by the babysitter urban legend, which I won't spoil the one-liner for those who have not seen it. The Canadian slasher is about a sorority house that is stalked by a stranger during the Christmas holidays. It's a bloody film that has a very haunting ending. Okay, I never do this, but I have to mention this next film, which is a short. Any film you want to pick from this bunch, please do me a favor and watch Treevenge before you watch your main feature. I promise you, it will get you into the spirit. The 16-minute short comedy horror is brutal. The movie turns the tables on what true horror is, depicting Christmas trees that are ripped from their homes and decorated by murderous humans. And for some reason, humans think that this is joyous. I'm still waiting for this one to be made into a feature. Silent Night just hit VOD, and I've seen a lot of claims that this film is not horror, but in 2021, contemporary horror should be celebrated and not put in a box. That being said, this film is a slow drama horror, but its bleakness is what puts it at the end of this scale. The film is a strange mix of philosophical darkness and dysfunctional families. Silent Night is about an extended family that meets for a beautiful Christmas party, but as tensions rise, the party reveals the true nature of their situation. Another new entry, and this one is on Shudder. This is The Advent Calendar. This French horror thriller gets straight to the point, following Eva, who receives an advent calendar with strange rules, each window revealing a new outlook on her current situation. The film is dark and it deals with a lot of heavy subject matters, including SA. The fantasy elements of the film keeps it eerie and unique. If you're looking for something a little bit more dark these holidays, The Advent Calendar is worth a watch. And now for the bleakest of them all, we've hit the end of the list, and I'm about to reveal the darkest Christmas horror movie of all time, Christmas Evil. This may surprise you, but for me, this is the bleakest of all Christmas movies, and perhaps on the running for one of the bleakest horror movies to date. The film has an ambiguous nature and is surrounded by theories as to the true meaning and ending of the film. What seems at first like an exploitation 80s flick morphs into one of the most disturbing movies about Santa. Christmas Evil is about an overworked toy factory employee who, after being traumatized on Christmas as a child, regresses to a state of perfecting the holiday for others. But a nervous breakdown at work causes him to snap, sending him into a bloody warpath. And there you have it. Those are my favorite Christmas horror movies. Let me know down below what yours are so we can all check them out. And again, thank you so much for being here and supporting me. I have a very epic video coming up, so make sure you subscribe for that because it's going to be quite helpful, I think. I hope you're having a fantastic day and happy holidays to you and your family. Stay spooky. Bye, friends.